you are is currently under lockdown. What is that
That's
like
right.
for you? What is life like for you?
Well, it's certainly different. Of course, in Europe, you're very used to being outside a lot, walking in the town, restaurants, activities, and things that are, um, linked very much to being amongst people and being outside. So the change to a much quieter and slower sort of pace is remarkable. I mean, you really notice it.
You posted something on Facebook, basically a warning to residents of Bobcaygeon because you were kind of alarmed at what you saw. Tell me kind of the message that you want to get out to us over here in Canada.
Well, it's simply this, that, we've had now the experience in China, and we're living it here in Europe now, where only days ago, it wasn't a problem. We were out, we were at the restaurants and bars with friends, we were on the bike paths, we were in the parks. And of course, the increase in cases has been exponential, just like it has been in every country that it touches. Um, I wanted to reach out to the people at home because I was seeing messages of where can we go out for dinner if we come up and visit? Where can we do this? What activities can we do with our children? And, I'm talking to you from your own future, that if you continue to do that, you will end up like we are, which is shut in our homes probably for a month. I want to give people the opportunity to learn from that poor example, in fact, and to not end up in a few days where we are today. For France, the last numbers I saw were just over 11,000 cases. That was end of day yesterday. So given the state of progression, it should be 12 or 13,000 by the end of today. I'm not sure about the number of fatalities. What I can tell you is that in our region, which is the extreme east of the country that borders Germany, that we are very hard hit. And it's partially because of our proximity to the outbreak in Italy, and partially because of a few people that had traveled before the lockdown started, and they infected quite a number of people, and uh, it became a community spread virus very quickly after that. And of course, once the cat is out of the bag, you can't get it back in, because nobody knows who's sick and who isn't for a number of weeks, or sometimes people don't know if they're sick at all. So at this point, our hospitals are officially overflowing. They are building military hospitals in the suburbs around a couple of cities in this region to accommodate the sick.
Wow.
Um, and yes, and of course the border, which is quite close to us here in Germany, has been closed for a week now, so we can't get across into Germany, which is a fairly common thing to do for the residents here, who a lot of us for instance, we do our groceries there and things like that. So just to not be able to cross the bridge is already very strange.
So what are you doing with your time?
Well, I mean, the kids are home, so they're getting school assignments online. They are, when we can connect, because as you imagine, there's 65 million people in France all trying to access the internet at exactly the same time. So they're doing schoolwork. They have assignments that are due on given days. I'm working from home. We have to manage, our supplies, because you can only go out to get food, or for medical care, or for some exercise. And you have to stay close to home, and you can't drive around. And it's designed to be restrictive. It's designed to discourage people from taking unnecessary trips.
And what's it like in the grocery stores? Are you experiencing shortages of any kind?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, of course, like in North America, it seems that everyone is obsessed with dry pasta and paper products.
Toilet
But I have
paper.
a feel, yeah. But I have a feeling, I don't know if people are using more or for some reason or not. But um, at the moment, it seems like it's pretty civilized. There's a restriction to the number of people that can be in a store, depending on its floor plan, like its floor area, and people wait outside a couple of meters apart, waiting their turn. Once you're in the shop, I was in Monday morning. It is quite civilized, in fact, and most things are are still available. There was full fish counters, full meat counters, full wine racks. It's France after all,
Mhm.
and people hemming and hawing about what kind of cheese they were going to buy.
I think that's a good idea, limiting the number of people in the stores that they are going to keep open, and that might be the next step here, and hopefully it is. Um,
No, it's the only way.
it's the only way, exactly. Okay, so what's your departing message to people?
Stay home.
Thank
Don't
you.
make the same mistake we did. Stay out of the restaurants and the bars. I know it's a sad message, but it,
It has to be
it's
done.
important.